Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We are here with the Mythic Championship, with the Grand Finals. It's been a nice day. We just witnessed an awesome quarterfinal. And now it's time to go with the next match in the brackets. We entered the lower bracket semifinal, so we're getting closer towards the Grand Final, which we all are waiting for. And it's going to be the game between Disgusting and ZENON. So, first of all, let me introduce our new co-caster today. With me, I do have ZENON. Welcome.
Hello, and thanks for the nice welcome. I'm super excited for this match. I think it's going to be great.
Yeah, because I think there's, for me, there's at least one surprise that came in here. So, ZENON, I guess, just individually, spoken individually, one of the best teams we have in Division 1. Actually entering the knockout stage at the third place from the group stage, which was kind of surprising. And interestingly enough, we had this matchup in the group stage between ZENON and Disgusting, and they actually went down. ZENON lost this 1-2 against Disgusting. This caught me quite by surprise. So what do you expect, ZENON? Can we expect something like that today again? Or?
I think it's hard to call if it's going to be like a replay, but I think there's always a chance, right? So it also depends on the day. Is it the same teams that show up today that showed up last time that they played? Or do the teams might have new strategies they are coming with today? Are they coming with more energy? Did they just have a bad day last time in the form of ZENON? So yeah, anything can happen. I'm super happy.
Yeah, and no more time for great analysis because we actually started Draft 1. We ended up after the map bans and all that stuff. We can talk about this maybe later. We ended up on Towers of Doom. And yeah, it's going to be first pick for Team Disgusting, who are on the right side here in red. And we immediately see the Zeratul ban. I guess that is quite known as a target ban against Dino. We all know what he's capable of if he plays the Zeratul. In the later games, we very often saw him go towards the Zarya, which has not been targeted in the ban phase so far. And I guess the Garrosh Zarya thing, they like to play it. They showed it off in the first match, in the first quarterfinal. We might see it today as well.
Definitely. So one thing I'm wondering, something we saw especially yesterday, was a lot of focus on Sul, who got buffed recently, and then there was like some small changes because of a bug. Are we going to see any focus on him today in this division here in the Mythic Championship? Because he was looking quite strong. He got a lot of and there we see him actually banned out in the first rotation of bans. So definitely some sort of Sul focus at least.
Yeah, standard meta these days, obviously the ban against Sul. Question is, will we see the Deathwing bin, as he actually is dropping kinda out of the meta? Chat is actually asking if you wear pants because they are surprised enough by me not wearing a cap. It's finals day, it's Mythic Championship day, come on guys, okay? So, you know, a little bit of serious casting going on here, and I bet ZENON has pants on.
I can confirm, I do wear pants right now. I had to, in case I have to stand up, there's a camera, so what we do see is the bans are actually done here. We do see the Ana getting banned out as well, a really, really high profile hero here, and oh boy, that's the Zarya Garrosh you talked about.
Boom! There we go, Zarya Garrosh already in. Malfurion kind of a target pick, taking it away from X-Ray, as we all know that he has quite some capability with this hero. That leaves Stukov open for X-Ray so far, and I guess that's his second favorite together with the Rega. So we might see this hero coming in here. We see the Tyrael, who is a good response to the Garrosh Zarya thing because he's actually very mobile, and that's basically what you need against this combo.
Yeah, definitely. So he can try and bait out the toss and have the sword out by himself, but also, if he gets tossed without having the sword, there's a good chance that he will get away anyways, unless there's a huge lockdown chain on him. Other than that, he's paired up with a Vala here, so that's probably like a Sanct of Vala we're going to see in the later stages of the game, who can dish out a ton of damage.
Yeah, she sure will do. We actually see the Dehaka ban coming in here, just getting rid of the global, especially on Towers of Doom, a very strong hero. Kind of surprised by the Vala into the Garrosh Zarya, as she doesn't have any or almost no one until 10 to really get rid of the Garrosh if she gets caught out of position. So she really has to be very careful against these heroes. But it looks like they are confident enough that they are gonna be able to do that.
Yeah, we see here Rainer banned out, so he's been really popular these days, especially with the Exterminator talent right now. And we have seen Zenon run with that before as well. And we also saw yesterday they were running with it in most of the matches from the Legendary Cup winners. But Blaze and Greymane picked up here again. So Zenon, they can engage here, and they got a lot of damage to follow it up.
They sure do, but yeah, kind of surprised that we actually see like sort of a triple tank already with the Garrosh, Zarya, and the Blaze. So the Leoric ban makes kind of sense now. I don't know. Do you think like they planned this right from the start?
It's hard to say. Like Saya, obviously, she can go into the Q build. I don't think she will here, to be honest. Hard to say, really. But it looks like they might. Do they pick the Rehgar here and go Bloodlust, though? That's a question. They can do that with this comp.
They sure can, and that would be an interesting choice to just run over the pretty squishy backline, to be honest with you. I mean, Tyrael is very mobile, but he's not like the perfect peel tank that you need. And we actually see the Rehgar coming in, and Bloodlust, as you said before, is kind of an opportunity here. So this is really kind of an interesting draft for me to see, because yeah, from Zenon, it doesn't feel too common for me. Basically, you only have one true damage dealer. We all know Zarya can deal out a ton of damage as well. But yeah, you talked about the grenade build. I expect him more to go for that extra and additional energy build on level 1, which he is really good at to finish really soon. We saw him finish that I think the first game they played in 3 minutes something. If we talk about the quarterfinals itself, we actually saw quite an impressive performance here from Team ZENON coming in. They won 2 games in 9 minutes and 12 and a half. So that tells you that they are done joking around. But again, as said before, they lost in the group stage against Disgusting 1-2, and they weren't joking there at all. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Definitely. And here we are. We actually entered our first match of the lower semifinal. This best of 3 series is going to be played between Team ZENON on the left, playing with Ultralisk on Greymane. We have X-Ray on Rehgar. We have Dino on Blaze, Death Knight on his Garrosh, and Calvin actually switching to the Zarya here.
The battle begins.
And on the right in the red, we do have Disgusting, with Harpon playing the Tyrael, Levelcal playing Hanzo, Rutek playing Malfurion, Satuas playing Thrall, and Itrax playing Vala.
Okay, so first of all, interesting swap here. We actually see the swap from Dino, who loved to play the Zarya in the early games here, switching to the Blaze here, and actually Calvin going in with the Zarya.
That's interesting, because yeah, as you see, Dino has been playing the Zarya so well, but oh, the stun coming from Blaze, the damage onto Itrax, that throw coming into Satarius, but looks like everyone will get away here. Yeah, but oh, what a start. That was close to some really early kills here from the side of ZENON.
Yeah, so actually already can tell the idea of Team ZENON here, isolate that one target and then get it down with the massive burst damage coming in from Greymane and the Zarya once she has the high energy.
Yeah, definitely. So builds here, we do see Hanzo going for the simple geometry instead, and we also see Rolling Thunder from Thrall, not something we see every single game, but has become more and more popular, especially killing like this beefy front line from the side of ZENON. So it's gonna be interesting to see how he abuses this talent here.
Yeah, we do have some ways to kill high health targets, like we're gonna have maybe Manticore even later in the stage from the Vala coming in, and the simple geometry build does help the Hanzo doing a ton of damage, especially against high health targets. Meanwhile, we saw a kill, or well, I didn't, but we actually see the Thrall on the top lane get caught out, and that's first blood for Team ZENON.
Yeah, we see when the kill came in the top side, we did see that Disgusting tried to go for the invade, but they were just a little bit too slow. So a super nice execution here from Tile ZENON, and also grabbing this top camp. So trying to get some pressure around the map, grabbing the advantages where they can.
Yeah, actually 2 camps coming in now for Team ZENON here. And, well, nice vault here just to escape the throw from the Garrosh. But again, aggressive positioning here from the Vala. She's really going in there.
Yeah, I think right now, as long as she got Vault ready, I think she can afford to go somewhat close to Death Knight. But if she makes a misstep, she is most likely dead. We just see Tyrael here. He's just trying to stand close to Death Knight all the time, trying to be the one getting thrown in case that comes a throw out.
And we actually see now with level 4 coming the bonus speed in with the shielding from the Zarya, so Valla has to be even more careful. Maybe shield is ready for Garrosh, and there he is in a good position. He gets the Wild Furion, throws him towards his mates, and they actually finish him off with the damage coming in. In the end, it's Zarya to kill him.
Yeah, we actually saw Death Knight. He also went super low there, so had he not got that double knock-up, he could potentially have been dead as well, because there might have been a root on him in the tower range. So, but super clean execution on that speed barrier into the throw combo.
And we're actually seeing engage onto the Hanzo in the middle there, and it looks like Ultralisk and Dino might try to go for both temples at the top. Meanwhile, 3 of the rest are going bottom. X-Ray is securing bot temple, but it looks for a fair exchange at the top. So standard trade at the top and 1 tower more. Meanwhile, Valla is kind of getting into trouble there. Slow is there, but she can get away with a good vault here, and Tyrael himself gets away as well. Now Thrall is coming in. They're actually going in it 5 against 4 for the moment. Death Knight is on the run. He's dropping really low. Hanzo with good damage coming in, but it's not enough to secure the kill. Meanwhile, they turn it around as Garrosh tries to run for the Valla, but he actually gets caught out by the root, and Valla escapes, and Garrosh does not.
Oh, Ultrax just like going to the limit here on this Valla, just barely gets out of the range to get hit by the throw by Garrosh. So super well played by him, baiting the Garrosh and knowing his limit completely, but that could have easily just been turned around as we see a pause come in.
Yeah, quick pause here. Pause by Death Knight. I guess we do have lags on their side. As they write in the chat, we actually had this happen quite some time as well in the group stage once. I think it was the game against High Pew Pew from the group stage where they did have connection problems. There it was NVIDIA updates who actually came in. They talked a lot about NVIDIA, and they gave quite a hard time for the caster. But you know, you never. I think it was Samu and me at that time. Yeah. What do you think of the early game from both sides? So we're actually sitting at 2-1 kills for Team ZENON. What do you feel like this game is gonna be?
I feel like if ZENON finds engages in the later stages, like they can just run over, even without the blood loss that we talked about, they can just run over the side of Disgusting. But if Disgusting can land the Zank as the engages come and they sit where they need to be, I think they can just turn around these fights. There will also be great engages with Hanzo Arrow. Potentially, we're probably going to see Earthquake as well. So they have big team fights also as well. So I think we're going to see explosive team fights in the later stages.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. I mean, I think it's going to be up to Valla if she can really hold this perfect positioning that she shows so far, like baiting the Garrosh in and then escaping barely him as the game goes on. I think they do have a good chance at this, but once she missteps just slightly, she's going to be killed rapidly, and that's going to be a lot of problems for the team of Disgusting.
Now we see the teams in general, especially Disgusting, they were on point with their camp, and I think that's going to be something we see the entire time. Oh, Harpoon running in here, gets thrown by the Garrosh. They're like contesting here, he doesn't jump out. Big root here from Root, I guess. Harpoon goes low, he dies, but this is not going to be trade value. This is going to get kills. Sartorius is in there, Death Knight is low as well. Oh, the kill onto the Riga. So 1-for-1, camp secured. Oh, Dino coming in from behind. So Itrax going ham here. Also is going down as well. Death Knight and killing is lower. Sartorius is just in it. He's still alive. How is he alive? Oh, trades 1-for-1. More Dino trying to get the Valley here. Itrax turns around for lava kills, and he's dead.
What a slaughter! Oh my god!
Holy moly, that was insane. Had Dino just could decide who he wanted to kill, I think he could at least got one more kill here, but the time is now. I'm out of words for that fight. It just was so tight who was going out on top there, and Disgusting coming out just slightly on edge with 2 heroes on sub 108 hit points.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was like a very, very close call here. Slightly late rotation coming in from the Blaze here. Thrall was there a little bit earlier, probably giving the team of Disgusting the advantage they needed there. Meanwhile, mid tower is still fought on, but there we see Thrall caught out of position, and he actually gets taken out. And now, Warlock, this time she gets caught, but she escapes nonetheless as the throw was not yet ready. So we do still get a fair exchange of towers here, and XP is still level, and we have a 6-6 kill count after the slaughter we just witnessed at the camp.
Yeah, compared to this Division 1, and usually in these high tier matches, we don't see that many kills in general. As I disconnect from the game, but we don't see that many kills in general. We see these low kills games where everyone just knows when to go out, but here's a 6-6 already in kills, so a bloodbath of a game.
Oh yeah, it looks like you're back. Otherwise you would have been dependent on my voice, but you know, that's fine as well. Meanwhile, we see the ultimates coming in. It is actually Bloodlust. There's the taunt coming in right away onto Harpoon, and he actually, well, he somehow survives. Tyrael jumping out of trouble there, and now it's a 4-5 against 3 situation. Kelvin on the run, but he can't escape the Hanzo arrows, and he actually dies. But there we see them re-engage for whatever reason, and actually Garrosh and Blaze are taken out as well. So that means a 3-0 with the first level 10 fight that we actually saw.
Yeah, I would say that Harpoon surviving there was really, really important, but he didn't really do much for the fight after, but I guess the movement speed he provides also like made a huge impact, made Aatrox go up, so he could hit that Rain of Vengeance, get double stun, get 2 more kills, and now we see here they're pushing the bottom bell tower, so not only are they right now they're winning fights, they're also taking map control, so that's super big for Disgusting.
Yeah, we all know that Towers of Doom is all about this bottom map, and bottom lane, excuse me. So if you control the bottom lane, it gives you this huge advantage because you do have these 2 altars who are spawning like mid bot and all the way bot. But this time we actually see another engage coming in. Garrosh trying to go in as he does have another taunt ready. There we see Hanzo actually getting caught out, and he's gonna be erased in no time. No, he's jumping away, and he actually survives, saving his time with the arrow, but he falls in the end, but so does the Rhaegar on the other side. Bloodlust was pulled off, I think, just in time, but now it has run out, and we actually see a 1-for-2 trade as Tyrael fell in the meantime as well.
Yeah, we saw the Tyrael try to jump in here with the sword, trying to get the tank down, but he got taunted as well, and here they got Centarius, he goes in, he gets thrown. Will he be able to get out? No, that's another kill for ZENON here. Taking it back, and
Dino! Whoa! Vana showing that she's not yet finished with this fight, as is in the mouth, as he tries to interrupt with another moonlight, and there this time she actually gets caught, and now she dies for the first time. So Vala dead for once. That is gonna mean a lot of trouble. Actually, repulsion zone taken, and now the taunt against Malfurion, and he's gonna be dead as well. Oh, the slow hits against the Hanzo, but he's on the run. Well, some low targets are there, but it's only Death Knight on the Garrosh and Kelvin on the Zarya, and we know they can't survive for quite some time. So they secure the tower, and the kill count is, excuse me, 9 minutes into the game, the kill count is 11-11. What kind of a game do we have here?
So yeah, we got over 2 kills a minute right now, so over 1 kill a minute per team even. This is insane, it's just so back and forth. I think what really needs to happen for the side of Disgusting, if they need to take this game back into their favor and really get a win here, then these Zanks needs to come down, because I don't think we've seen a single Zank yet. But yeah, last time he got taunted, and then second time it was possible for him to get it down, it was just too late really. So it's gonna be interesting to see, like, can he get those Zanks, or will he just get denied every single time?
Yeah, so we actually see Slider push coming in. All the 3 guys, no, it's 2 of the pumpkins who have who are still alive, and they actually go for the bottom fort, which was taken back, by the way, obviously in the meantime. See Garrosh running in, but the vault, again, perfectly timed from the Vala, and now Garrosh is in a lot of trouble. We actually see Tranquility, and there's the Sanctification, but Malfurion is out of it, but Death Knight has to run away from the Vala, but now she gets caught out of position and gets erased by the Zarya here, and now it looks like they can turn it around again, as we do have a 4 against 3 situation.
We also see here Tyrael, he did something really smart against this comp. Holy Ground can deny Garrosh to run forward. So the Vault was there to save him, but the Holy Ground came in after. We saw the great toss on Malfurion, but then the Zank came down. Even though Malfurion went out, nothing happened, but this just can turn around by Violet just stepping up this tiny bit too much. And ZENON just executing her completely on it.
Well, we have the bottom shrine actually coming up, and it's gonna end up in the hands of ZENON. There's no doubt about that, I guess. Gonna have Walla just spawn in now, so she's gonna be very late to that. Meanwhile, another siege camp is coming in, and they will maybe do some damage to that fort. And yeah, we talked about how inconvenient this game is actually for a Division 1 game, as we do have this many kills already this early in the game. But on the other hand, it shows you a lot what Division 1 is all about. Slight mistakes get punished so hard from either side here. So we saw Garrosh stepping out a little bit too far, not catching the Valla. He almost got caught for that one. Then in the turnaround, Valla stepping herself just one step too far and immediately got punished for that. What an amazing game.
Yeah, one thing we do see from ZENON that we don't typically see from a lot of teams here on House of Doom is this top camp. So they've taken the siege camp, I think it's the second or third time. They take it now, just sending Ultralisk up and taking like Greymane. So, oh, but in the bottom we do see an engaged two-man caught out here by Garrosh. The arrow comes in, doesn't really make a lot here. Sang comes in, but Malfury runs out of it. Nearly that's X-Ray coming in on the wolf form, killing him. Can they get more? Toss onto the Valor. Can she get out? Yeah, she can. The holy ground coming in, but Dino coming from behind! What is this? And now they're just running disgusting over under their own turret. That's a 3-for-0 so far, and looks like it's gonna be 4-for-0. If Lavalcal doesn't make something amazing happen here on X-Ray note, there is the kill confirmed. 4-for-0.
What a fight here, and actually it shows you a lot what all these high hit points heroes are actually good for, because they can fight under the fort for quite some time. It doesn't matter because they can take quite some hits from a tower. And yeah, we see the next shrines coming up, and we're gonna have no Tyrael or close to no Tyrael and no Hanzo for sure, and it's gonna be a triple shrine phase, so that's gonna be a close call for Team Disgusting, and it can be a hard hit.
Yeah, so I think something that we haven't really mentioned from Disgusting is this. Oh wait, getting thrown in here. Try to get the interrupt, but doesn't get it. That was a smart play by Death Knight, but Horde not close enough. Meanwhile, these Zappers bottom lane are potentially getting pushed. No, seems like they will get cleared.
Ooh, her Dragon's Arrow just missing everyone, but it looks like they can defend off the Zappers here. So no 3 more shots coming in. Meanwhile, 3 of the team are actually dropping down the mid fort, and it doesn't look like we see Team Disgusting actually try to defend this off. Instead, they try to engage onto the Zarya here. They with Earthquake, and they actually get her down. And now we see Combustion coming in, but it's not gonna do a lot to help out his mate there. And meanwhile, Rega is cleaning off the bot lane, so this tower is in their hands for quite some more time. But we do have 44 seconds for a 5 against 4 situation, and they immediately try to use that with the aggressive option to go for the enemy camp.
Yeah, Disgusting really needs to make something out of their time here, because they spent a really large cooldown in Earthquake getting that kill. So they need to get this bell tower back for sure. If they don't get this back, they are in a really, really bad spot, even with that kill. But I'd have a hard time believing that ZENON can do anything to stop them. Doesn't look like they're gonna try even. But yeah, we just saw the Troll Earthquake coming in and just sets up these team fights. So I think if we get these 5v5 fights later on, that we haven't really seen a lot of yet, that Earthquake can be massive and maybe change how we see fights. So how the fights have been going so far.
Okay, so we see in a boss attempt, as they knew they couldn't make it in time, but now we see Blaze maybe caught out of position. Actually, Tyrael is there in time, but again, we see him slightly escaping at the perfect timing there, and that's what these players are all about. Being aware of where the enemy is and when they have to leave.
Yeah, this time we do see Disgusting. They try to be aggressive, but they need to... Oh, the Holy Ground locking X-Ray
Holy Ground.
in.
X-Ray is caught out of position. Now he actually gets the arrow on top of that. A lot of damage coming in onto him, and he actually see the kill from Hanzo onto the Rega. And that means that this game is not yet over at all.
Definitely, it's so important getting that kill before 20 hits. So here, Disgusting are still very much in this game. Can they get this channel? Looks like, oh, but a double throw here into the taunt under the turret. Just Death Knight, you monster. Earthquake coming down, but looks like it is too late here. That's 3 for 1 shoulder. Death Knight just taking this game on his shoulders right there and saying, no, we are not allowing you to turn this around.
And again, it shows you the power of level 20 here, as we do see Ultralist just going through the enemy fort there to try to catch the Vala, but she's actually teleporting from the smartest spot ever. They actually see her teleporting, but they're not gonna be there in time. They tried to find her, but they can't, and they're still looking for her. Where is she? Where is she? Grayman looking in the bush, taunting, spraying, you know. But there actually Vala comes in now, stops the spraying, but probably not the camp fall, the fort falling here.
Yeah, definitely. So we did see that the ZENON's tower did go over to the side of Disgusting, which is really important. That's enough for them to live. But Disgusting has to make a perfect game for the rest of this map now to be able to come back here.
Yeah, it's gonna be a hard call for them as they still lack the level 20 talents and they are still 3/4 of level there. They're gonna be having that before the next altar phase, but that's basically all. And we see Grayman probably putting some pressure towards the top lane. They really have to get rid of this fort fast. And meanwhile, on the bot lane, if one of these two camps is gonna make their way through, they're gonna lose this game either way. Boss, by the way, is up in 2.5 minutes, but this is another winning condition for Team ZENON here, so it's getting to look really rough for Team Disgusting.
Yeah, Team Disgusting, there's just this potential once the boss spawn. That can just be a checkmate position for them, really. And now with this bell tower in the bottom gone, that's really good.
Oh, you know, why wait for this? Just catch out the Vala, expulsion zone, just erase her from the planet, and now we see a huge combustion into the backline. Meanwhile, Tyrael fall in there as well, and they actually fight so aggressively underneath the towers, shooting at them, and it doesn't matter at all, and this is gonna be game either way.
Yeah, definitely. We do see here 3 kills coming out. It's not more, 4 even. Even throwing Kelvin in there. Can they get the? They got the complete team wipe, and yeah, didn't even need to take the shots from the tower. They had Sabers coming all along, so they just pushed up. Explosive game here. It just went from being really stalemate, bloody game to just being over.
And I mean, that went pretty fast there in the end. Amazing heal numbers we see coming in here from Rega, doing like 75,000 of healing, especially going the Bloodlust build. So nonetheless, this is not stopping him from doing amazing heals here. Malfurion, for comparison, sitting at 47,000. So that is gonna play a huge role in the outcome of this game. And then we have a 25 to 14 kill counts. And actually we have Zarya doing top damage for Team ZENON here, and that tells you a lot about how this game went.
Yeah, definitely. That, like, the Sire got so much value. Like, we did see the Garrosh get a lot of throws, but why did he get those? Speed Barrier did so much for him. That's insane. But yeah, we also did see that you have to respect the Garrosh throw, and this is something that a lot of people sometimes fail to. Some people more than others. But I'm amazed to see that up in this division, that the Garrosh got so many great throws. Like, oh boy, Death Knight, just like at some point they was looking like, okay, now Disgusting is coming back, and then he just makes a double throw with the level 20 into tower range, 2 kills, turn around the fight. Just amazing play here by ZENON. They just showed that even though they were looking like could be a tough match, they just knew what to do the entire time through.
Yeah, and I mean, to be honest with you, like it's that difference that we have between the teams here. If we think about the opportunities you have. I mean, you know you have level 20 advantage, but you're down Rega, you're down your support. So what can you do? Do you go for this, or do you lose both towers, which actually might give Team Disgusting the opportunity to come back into this game? But instead, we see Garrosh walking in there, getting the double throw, and immediately erase, I think it was Vala or maybe Malfurion, I can't remember. But yeah, that amazing play alone secured to really seal the deal on this game. So very well played from Death Knight. We actually, meanwhile, we see the numbers from him coming in. He's actually sitting. Shrines.
Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting. So now we went from a map where it's kind of hard to end early, where I'm interested to see if the teams will go for maybe some super early oriented comms to get an advantage here. Will they go for more macro? Will we see the Auric or something in this setting here compared to Towers of Doom. Obviously, Towers of Doom, you can do a lot of macro there. You can do some double soaking, but on this map, you have to also fight on this confined point, where skill shots are hard to land because of the small guardians. So I'm interested to see how this affects the comps, especially because Garrosh can have a hard time on the shrine fights here.
Yeah, so what do you think about the map choice? I mean, I think we saw Infernal Shrines taken by Team ZENON in the first quarterfinal that we actually saw as well. So they decide to go on Shrines as well, and they have the second map pick for the night here. So what do you think about that first pick or map pick choice? So it actually was up to Team Disgusting to choose whether they want to go with the first pick, and they decide, or with the map pick, and they decide to go with the map pick here, and with the first pick, and leave the map pick open to the enemies. What do you think is the idea behind that, having the first pick advantage?
I think the meta in general is that first picks have the advantage on most maps, with the sword exclusion on Dragonshire. Because on Dragonshire it's really important to have like the counter pick in offlane, and many times. But I think most teams, especially when we come up into these levels, they are comfortable on every single map, so they rather just be able to have that first pick to secure themselves that really, really strong or important hero. Like a lot of people, especially on this map, will like stuff like Johanna, Soul, potentially Deathwing. I don't think that we'll see Deathwing first pick though, not anymore, at least compared to when he was first released. But I do think that first pick is the meta, and I can definitely understand why they would go for it.
Okay, so meanwhile, it looks like we go into draft number 2. It looks like teams are ready. We are for sure. Yeah, like, what do you think? Will we have another ZENON win here, or like we saw in the group stage? ZENON, won the first match, I think, in an 18-0 game, but then lost the 2 upcoming matches there next. So what do you think is going to be happen here?
I think it's come down to a lot to draft in general. Like, if they come out even in draft, I think it can be in one games, but one team just has this slight draft advantage. I think it can really, really just jump into their favor, especially at these levels. But I also think, like, on the side of ZENON, you have a lot of these really high-profile players, and maybe last time they didn't play that well together, but it looks like today they were so much on point, not only on individual level, but also on a level where together as a team. So I think ZENON is looking really, really strong here, and I think they are going to be really hard to beat in this map. But I'm definitely not writing Disgusting off. They will definitely have a really huge chance also to take this away.
Yeah, so when we immediately see the reaction, we see actually the Garrosh ban right away. So there was like, I think it was like 0.1 seconds into the first ban, and bam, Garrosh out. And the Zero tool is out as well, so still the target ban against Dino, and this time a target ban against Death Knight as well. And on the other side, we see, I think, more meta bans, as Tool is banned out, and the Johanna, which is like the strongest tank actually in the current meta on Infernal Shrines especially. Yes, she can get down the cooldown reduction on that condemn, and basically non-stop W throughout the team fights. So, and there Anna was open, so immediately picked by the team of Disgusting here. Pretty strong with basically any mage. And there we see Death Knight going for the Tyrael, and we have the Kerrigan, who actually has, I think, only value on Infernal Shrines, especially picked that early in the draft.
Yeah, even on Infernal Shrines, I think it's really uncommon to pick Kerrigan this early, but obviously, it's a really strong map for her, and she's really good together with Tyrael. Like, you go in with a Kerrigan, and you have a Sank on top of you when you go in. Oh boy, you're in a world of hurt if you're the enemy. So, other side, ETC and Falstad, so they can probably deal a lot with this. When she jumps in, you can deny her with the Gust, you can, like, deny her with the W from ETC, if you get that down before Sanks come down, so I think smart pickups here by Disgusting as well to try and maybe counter this, what looks already to be like an all-in strat from the side of ZENON.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I mean, we see Jaina banned out, as she's one of the heroes that goes amazingly well with the Ana. But that leaves a lot of casters still open. We might see a Chromie coming in, haven't that seen in a while, although she's maybe, she does have timeout later, so Chromie might be an option here to go. for Team Disgusting here, but yeah, as you said before, it's probably more about just disengaging against Kerrigan that was seen very soon in the draft. So ETC, Anna, already very, very good picks and very popular picks for the side of Disgusting here, and very uncommon picks on the side of Zenon, but maybe they're gonna surprise us with another idea they have in mind.
Yeah, so I'm interested to see what they draft here. The Rhaegar and Leoric. So Leoric again, super strong on this map, double soak potential. So they're just saying, okay, we have a plan and we don't really mind too much what you're gonna play. We're just gonna stick with what we want and we're gonna take it as early as possible to make sure that you don't get the picks we need for this strat. So I think the draft from ZENON is super bold, but if it works, it's gonna work really well.
So again, going with the Rhaegar here, do you expect like the Bloodlust again here? Like, I mean, it's not as obvious as we've seen before with the triple tank, where the mobility gives you a lot of advantage if they can run it just a little bit faster. But well, they do have an engage combo as well, so this might be the run over again. Do you expect the Bloodlust to be here, or maybe go for the Ancestral to just give Kerrigan the sustain she needs once she goes into the backline?
I think it's gonna be Ancestral, but it really depends. I want to see this last pick here before I really say anything. if that's gonna be like a Greymane or like a Sylph, Sylph is great as well with the Bloodlust. Obviously not like the biggest of like AA heroes. Like could have been a Greymane there instead, or even a Jimmy. But it could be Bloodlust. But I think this is about you need the Kerrigan to just go on. So like if you just take the Ancestral to make her just be unkillable once the Sank is down, I think that's a good shot. Meanwhile, this Kael'thas and Sonya getting picked up on the side of the Disgusting. So obviously Kael'thas, I think he's probably one of the stronger mages on this map. If you time your W correctly on the Guardians on the Shrine, they instant blow up and spread your bombs to enemy heroes nearby, right? So it's going to be interesting to see how he plays around that, and also how ZENON can play around. Obviously on this level, I don't expect to see any bomb spreading, maybe a little bit in really tight, unlucky situations, but I think this is going to be interesting. If ZENON can execute this strat perfectly, I think they have a really, really strong shot at just running over Disgusting in this map.
Yeah, and I think like you talked about it. I think like Kael'thas does have a lot of value in the lower play level, we know that. But on the higher meta, there's the problem with the spreading bombs, which is actually very often negated from the heroes. And we do have very mobile heroes on the left side for Team ZENON coming in. Before we talk more about it, let's just see and wait how this turns out as we turn into game number 2 on Infernal Shrines, between this best of 3 series between ZENON and Team Disgusting. And on the left side, we have Team ZENON coming in with Death Knight on Tyrael. We have Dino on Leoric. We have Ultralisk on the Kerrigan and Kelvin on Sylvanas, as well as X-Ray playing the Rhaegar again.
And on the right side in red, we do have Falstad, played by Itrax, Rutex, playing Anna, Lavelcal playing Kael'thas, ETC playing Harpoon, and Sonya played by Sartuas.
Okay, so yeah, what I wanted to mention as well is like we do have Tyrael, who is a very mobile hero, and he does have this displacement with Holy Crown in the later stages. But what he lacks is actually hard crowd control. So that Sonya does have a good advantage because the Leoric lacks that as well. So we only basically have Kerrigan only and the Silence arrow at level 10 from the Sylvanas as hard crowd control. Meanwhile, we have to stick with Ultralisk, who gets a huge combo off, but nonetheless will fall here to this 4-man rotation from Team Disgusting, and we actually have First Blood coming in for them.
I was amazed how long Ultralisk actually survived that, just jumping around and landing that 3-man combo right after. I think that just tells the story. Had he not been alone there, had there just been 2 people down there, just one more with him, that could have been turnaround. But would you see Sonya actually falling now in the mid lane here, getting picked up by a rotation from the side of ZENON? So 1 running kills already.
Yeah, and actually nobody controlling the top lane, and we all know that killing the solo laner is giving you the best advantage in the early game that you could probably have, because you get this bonus XP on the top lane, but Sonya is on her way top again. Meanwhile, we might see a fight about the bottom neutral camp here for both teams. You actually see ETC sliding in, and they try to get down Death Knight on the Tyrael, which is kind of a healthy target, but there we see the come engaged from Ultralisk onto the ETC, and he has to run away, and this is going to secure the bottom camp for Team ZENON.
Yeah, and we see here. So I think the reason Disgusting really had to pull out was Kael'thas had no more mana after he used his stun. So for people who don't play Kael'thas, his stun costs a lot of mana, and you don't really have a huge mana pool until you stack the mana addict, or you get your level 4 that reduces the mana cost on your stun. So he was after casting 2 stuns there, and you see ZENON here, they're just pushing in on this bottom lane, and trying to abuse that they had this camp going, nearly taking out a tower here, so will it die here before they kill the camp? That's the question, doesn't look like it. But yeah, ZENON going in there, just knowing that they can win the fights here early on.
Yeah, meanwhile, if we talk about builds, by the way, we actually see the mana refund now and the range Netherwind taken here on level 4 from Kael'thas. We see the Sleep Dot build coming in, which is very common these days on the Ana. And on the other side, for Leoric, we see a pure race one. But let's stick with the engage here that we see at the top Bruiser camp here. But we actually see the Sleep Dot on the Leoric, and he's sleeping for a while. And we actually have a 4 against 1 situation. Leoric on the run, but he's gonna survive due to his Wraith Walk.
I guess this just also shows the power that you have with Cloud. Oh, but is he dead?
We're not finished with him.
Excuse me? He's dead. So yeah, we just see here Harpon, he just knows, okay, Wraithwalk is on cooldown. He's still really close to us, so that's a free kill. And Shrine is active, so they're gonna start out here, getting advantage of Leoric is alive in 4 seconds already being here. Oh, stun onto Harpon here. He just W's and gets out. But again, they got an advantage here, 14 to 11, so actually not that big. And the ZENON is just going in, as Santaurus just spins to win for lifesteal.
It obviously is, but then we see an engage onto the Kael'thas, but again, nice disengage coming in from to the ETC, but they are not finished with him, but he still managed to get away here, and we have a close race on the Shrine. It's 26 to 19, and we see actually the sharpened blades really going up, 14 stacks already for the Kerrigan, but let's stick with the fight for a moment as we see another engage onto the Kael'thas, but he gets another heal, but nonetheless finished by the Kerrigan here, who finds very good engages onto the Kael'thas, and they secure the first Shrine for themselves. Sonya is trying to run as well, but she can't survive either. So we do have a double kill from Kerrigan. So far, the early Kerrigan pick really paying off for Team ZENON.
Yeah, so again, so Kael'thas in general doesn't
What a read! What a read onto the false setting. He actually falls down, reading the dodge perfectly from Ultralisk here, finding another combo onto the false set without any setup so far. And there he's not finished with them, but the Sleep Dot stops him. No, he doesn't, as he gets the Ana as well. Ultralisk, what a performance so far.
Was that the tower waking Ultralisk up, killing Ana? I think it was. So, oh, but Ultralisk, again, we said this, that the players on Team ZENON are really great individual players, and Ultralisk here, he just showed that he's here not just to play, he's here to win.
And they actually get vision on the camp for the siege camp, which is a usual play. Once you capture the enemy siege camp, you can just give vision. But how did Dino, by the way, end up here? No, he just,
I think
opens the wall.
From the top and just walked in there with Wraith just to give vision.
Yeah, so they get the fountain, which is gonna give them some advantage. Next altar is not yet announced, so we're not gonna know where it's gonna spawn. Meanwhile, Calvin is kind of in a lot of trouble, and he gets blown up by the Kael'thas here with the Netherwind follow-up for the ETC storm.
So yeah, but here we also see the strength coming out from the side of Disgusting. They have a lot of CC. They have a power slide into a Kael'thas stun, into an even knockback after. And
look at the mirror, so they get the fountain themselves as well. Meanwhile, we have a big experience advantage for Team ZENON here. They actually have level 10 already, and this is gonna give them a lot of control in the next, I guess, 1 to 2 minutes until level 10 is there for Team Disgusting as well. Sonya might be a little bit out of position as they actually turn it around now, and Dino with a lot of damage on her, but she can whirlwind non-stop basically against these two heroes. So Calvin caught off from the rotation to the top as well to secure the kill against Sonya. Very good map awareness from Team Disgusting.
Yeah, let's look at it. So we got 10 secured here a little while ago here with the ults, and it is basically as we expected, and also with the bloodlust that we talked about. So nothing super out of order here. We do see the 9 versus 11 here gets into, doesn't connect, but the Silver Straight here just proving valuable. Ultra is going in, doesn't find the stun on Itrax, unfortunately, but 10 is now secured as we do see Marsh Pit potential here. They are going in on X-Ray, takes a lot of punishment. Can Sonya run down? No, the wolf form. Just securing him to get out. Meanwhile, in bot lane, we just see Dino. He's just shoving in.
Yeah, that camp, well, it's only one of the siege camp minions who is still alive. And Kalthus is gonna deal with that wave in no time, but it's gonna be a problem. Meanwhile, we see an engage on the top lane off to Sarthras, and he gets away, whirlwinding again. Falstad flying in there as well, just in case he was needed. They basically, we saw the pings, they were pretty much aware of the position of Kerrigan here, where she might be. Harpoon given a lot of vision for the rest of his team as well, and we see an exchange of siege camp, bruiser camps on both sides. There we see an engage onto the Leoric. Done. Netherwind is there, healing is negated to him, but which is basically hurting him a lot, but he can Wravewalk away nonetheless, but he dropped pretty low.
Yeah, so did see a great CC chain off, and even with the sleep going in there as well, just to make sure he was there for just like 1-2 more AAs, but it was just not enough, and that's just a string of Lorik. You can stand up really, really far and just not get punished. Dino is really abusing that this game.
Yeah, and meanwhile, still split pushing towards the bot lane. We see a start of the camp for Team Disgusting, as they know they have even talents for just a short bit of time and have to use this time as fast as they can. Here's the talent advantage, which is actually immediately picked. And we see them try to engage here with the talent advantage that they have. And we see Death Knight in the backline. Ultron is coming from the side, finding a good engage onto Lovecow, but he still gets away. Sanctification is there to save everyone else. Nano boosted is now on the counters, and he's gonna deal out a ton of damage. Nobody fallen yet in this fight, and now Death Knight is in a lot of trouble, and he's the first to fall here. Sartoras keeping every one of Team Zenon busy all by himself, and Death Knight is the only one to fall in this fight. Well, we see another engage. Silence Arrow is there on the counters as well, but he gets away another time. So Ultralisk, although finding good setups, not resulting in any kill here. No Falstad is playing with fire as he still goes after the enemy team, but it looks like they settle with the Shrine for the moment now.
Yeah, we see here, they didn't even kill the Kael'thas, even with all that setup on him. And Kael'thas hadn't even completed his level 1 yet. Once he gets that shield, it's gonna be even harder for Zenon. So I think there might have been some miscommunication of everyone going on him at the same time, or just some missed abilities. Like we did see this Ultralisk miss a stun combo on him. If those stun combo hits, I think they get the kills, but just that little bit off point and they just lose the kills. I just see Death Knight here, he pulls the Immortal, I was about to call it. I can't remember the name of it right now. Punisher.
Punisher, yeah, the Arcane Punisher coming in. Actually, now another engage with the Entomb on Kalthus in the backline there. They try to jump afterwards, but they basically all alone. We see the mosh pit in return, but it gets interrupted by Ultralisk with the Kerrigan. Now nano boosted, but there's the Cocoon, and they try to turn it around. We see Kerrigan jump afterwards after the KTC, and Death Knight is dropping lower and lower, and actually Kerrigan is the first to fall. Will we see the trade value against Kalthus? No, he barely misses, so Kalthus survives again.
And meanwhile, we just saw Sataurus, he just tower dove straight onto Kerrigan. And even with the Riga doesn't have a lot of heal right now. Obviously, he went for Bloodlust, so there's no Ancestral to save him. So yeah, super strong team fights here coming out from the side of Disgusting, and they're gonna take this mid fort now, even with the Punisher being dead.
Oh, well, they try at least, but we see the ability of Calvin and X-Ray to disengage the rest of the team, so they have to leave here. And it's still a building advantage for the side of Team Zenon, but the team fights look like to turn around a little bit in this stage of the game.
Yeah, also, we did see the Entomb come in here and land onto Kael'thas, but again, there was no one to follow it up, so the Entomb actually got wasted. I think if they land these Entombs, especially on like Anna late game, it's gonna be a problem, because especially now that Anna got Smelling Salt, she can remove stuns. Once you get active reload 16, it's gonna be really, really hard to kill someone if you don't go for her.
Yeah, but we talked about it, and you said it. Where we see Baby and there's the block from Deathwing, but Death Knight, excuse me, but Harpoon still managed to slide away here. Yeah, we talked about the synchronization, which is not yet completely there. Either it's a missed stun from Kerrigan, meanwhile they try to go and not giving me any time to analyze something here. Come on, guys, there they really go. Trade is onto the fort, and Zartor's in a lot of trouble as we see Kerrigan hitting the combo, and he actually gets taken out. So, yeah, we talked about the synchronization there. And yeah, we either missed the Wailing Arrow, who can secure the kill on a certain target as well, either on the target itself or just to, you know, silence the Ana for that short bit of time and you can secure the kill. We saw the lack of the synchronization between the Entomb and the Bloodlust was not yet taken, and all these heroics, they have to be taken at the same time. Meanwhile, now Kalthas in a lot of trouble as he's all in by himself against the Dino, and they actually get the fight down there, the bot lane, but it looks like we have an engage on the top lane as well. Now Kalthas has to run. He lifts Leoric up and runs away.
So yeah, but that's ult out of both of them in the bottom lane, but Kalthas' ult not super impactful, quite a low cooldown. Entomb 50 seconds cooldown, it's gonna be ready when they need it. 16's been secured for both teams here, so it's going to see how this goes. Interesting to note, Leoric went the AA build and not the Wraithwalk build that we usually see. So that's going to see how that spans out on this fight here.
Holy ground there in the backline, and Nano Boost on Kalthas pulled off pretty early. Gust is there, but is only basically negating an engage there before it was made. We see Sanctification with the perfect timing before Tyrael falls, but he falls nonetheless, and he's gonna be the only one from this fight. Well, everyone else is looking pretty healthy so far, so that is gonna give a huge advantage to Team Disgusting. And there they try to re-engage as well with the advantage that they have. We've seen engage onto ETC, and they try to burst it down. Wailing Arrow this time on point to secure the kill, but they try to switch for Kalthas, but instead they get none of them. ETC with the Mosh Pit, but they actually falls for it, but so does the Rega on the other side. But we see Kalthas falling to the Leoric damage there in the end, and now Dino on the run with the Leoric, trying to block himself out of any harms, but instead they turn it around. The Sonya falls, but so does Leoric in the meantime, but the damage is as well good enough for the fall stat. And again, 4-3. These fights, these teams actually offer to us look amazing.
These fights just have so many things happening. Like, we have a really, really great engage in general from ZENON, but then the Gust comes in and sort of negates and resets, which is really good, because once the Bloodlust is popped, if it Gust people away, that's gonna waste time of the Bloodlust. Level 20, that's probably gonna negate the entire Bloodlust even. But we also, I talked about this AA build here from Leoric, and it just gained value. He just went in and he just obliterated Kalthas on the back line without any help. So these team fights are super explosive, so much happening. And again, we see here only 2 people surviving with one of the teams. So, but here, ZENON are pushing in with a Punisher onto top keep.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of sad that this game might even end with this, but let's stick with it for a moment. I think it's not yet over. We see an engage again from Kerrigan onto the backline. Rutek on the Ana is in a lot of trouble, and Kerrigan jumps afterwards again, and he tries to jump out, but he can't escape, so it's Ana for the Kerrigan. It's a trade of heroes, and there we see the re-engage coming in, but the Punisher is still at 70%. We see the silence arrow on the Sonya stopping her whirlwinding, and there we see them coming in for the rest of the team, and it looks like it's gonna be game. Still 50% on the Punisher, and then we have no Ana and no Sonya, but they're Punisher securing the kill against ETC as well. Holy ground, stopping him from retreating to the core. Mana Addict is used, shield, and he's gonna save Kalthas for a little bit of time, but not enough, as we see the core going down and end this series in a 2-0 for Team ZENON. And this means we have ZENON in the second final. What a game, what a series. Come on, guys.
So both these games kind of went the same direction. Like early game, mid game, really even. We saw some really good team fights, and then all of a sudden ZENON just pops off and just runs it down. And again, we just saw, like, in this late stage, we just Kerrigan, Ultra Risk, just jumped in on Rutek, on his Ana, and just obliterated him. And that's what we needed to see, really, because Ana can't, if she doesn't land a sleeping dart, she's dead. If no one else helps her. And Ultra Risk, we saw him, he was just jumping around, dodging stuff left and right, so really well played here by the side of ZENON, but it was not like it was at one side stormed the entire way through. It just seems like that when you look at how the game ended, at least.
Yeah, and we have, like, you know, that's a good message for all the gold and silver players out there in the world. You know, like, if you want to talk about something here in both games, actually, if we take a look at the damage numbers again, you know, you see people that say, oh, I'm stuck at silver, but I do top damage all the time, blah, 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 blah. Okay, For the second time in a row in both games, actually, first game it was the top 2 damage dealers who were in favor of Team Disgusting, and in this game we actually see 3 damage dealers of Team Disgusting above the first damage dealer, we actually is Leoric. So, you know, Leoric top damage for Team ZENON again. So, you know, if we put that in perspective, it's not about damage numbers, it's about efficiency. So which target you're gonna do the damage on and what do you achieve with it? And we see 13 to 10 kills, and that's the number that matters, especially regarding towards the timing of the kills. So damage is not everything here. It's all about getting those kills, getting the efficiency in the damage you deal out, and we saw Team ZENON doing an excellent job with that.
Yeah, definitely. And especially like you talked about these lower ranks, and I think one hero we can highlight there is like Kael'thas. We see him a lot in the lower ranks, being picked and get huge damage numbers with this bomb spread, and he's just, I do all this damage, but we lost, so it's all your fault. But here we see he didn't get that much bomb value. He still got dealt great damage. He survived a lot of engages, so he played it well. But it all just came down to who was his damage dealt to. A lot of the damage was dealt to frontliners, but he just got dove by a backliner. So had all this damage, for example, sat on Kerrigan, he might survive, but it's really, really hard to lock down this Kerrigan, especially with the Tyrael tank on top of her.
Yeah, and I think we have to pull out again the Rhaegar, who actually out-healed the Ana without going Ancestral. By the way, Ancestral might have kind of a dangerous situation due to the Ana bomb, because it can really be negated pretty fast. So that might have been one reason why we saw Bloodlust either way. But, you know, against Ana, who denies healing, still out-healing an Ana with going the Bloodlust, that shows you a lot of the capability of X-Ray. We all know he's like one of the top, if not the top supporter in EU that we currently have. So yeah, what do you think of Team ZENON? They are in the lower bracket finals. Will we see them in the grand final? Will we maybe even see them win?
Definitely, like if they keep playing like they do in these later stages of I think they need to clean up their mid game a little bit, because that seems where like they're struggling the most right now. Like they're trying to find these engages, but there's just a little bit off every time. Like they're not really like in sync of when to do the engages and who to do the engages on. If they manage to do that, I think they can be a huge contender to win the Mythic championship this season.
All right, so I think that concludes this series. Next up, we will have the upper bracket final between Hype Pew Pew and Huyi Poluki. Huyi Polaki? Is that the number? Is that the way to pronounce it?
I think I went with Huyi Poluki when I tried to pronounce them earlier to myself today, but it could be Huyi Polaki.
Okay, but nonetheless, we're gonna see the first contestant for the grand final after this match, so this is gonna be a clutch one as well. And we're gonna talk about this when we are back. I guess we go for a short break right now. And yeah, I hope we see you all guys in, well, I think 2 to 5 minutes. I don't know yet. I'm gonna have to check with the director here. So yeah, see you all guys very soon. Stay tuned. It's gonna be great. Well, they do need us, but he really bursts down the Alexstrasza and they get her down. And they even got the Immortal Racer in the content. They have to defend this off as 5 here currently. If they don't send 1 at least off to the race, this is not gonna change, and they will just have another fight with all the cooldowns available. And
yeah, that's why Sonya's now gone to race, but that means Sonya's not the best race, and Li Ming is being allowed to poke this. They can't allow this. They have to engage before the channel is back up.